Welcome! Justin M. Bailey here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin M. Bailey. I'm a writer, I like to play games, and I love RPGs. I love them. There is no gaming series that has meant more to me or has done more for me than RPGs have. I cannot tell you how many times when I was young where RPGs were my safe place. They were my happy place, so to speak, my safe haven, and RPGs were once my greatest teacher. They were my much-needed confidence builder. In short, I would not be standing here right now were it not for RPGs. And I know an argument can easily be made that RPGs, in fact, are nothing but silly little games where all you ever seem to do is save the world over and over again. And this is true, but I'm here to say RPGs can, in fact, save us. They can save all of us because RPGs attract a very specific type of person. We all are a very specific type of people because most people, when they play RPGs, they see the most boring gaming experience imaginable. They see nothing but boring menus and stats and tiresome turn-based battle systems, whereas we see the greatest gaming experiences of our life. Quite the difference in opinion, don't you think? Two groups of people looking at the exact same picture and yet seeing two entirely different results. Why? Why? What's the difference? Well, we are different. We are the difference. But what does that mean? Does that mean that you have to be a nerd, a weirdo, or a freak to be attracted to RPGs? I don't think so. Are you a freak? Do you like being called a freak? No! You do not have to be a freak to be attracted to RPGs. You simply have to be a very unique individual, especially when it comes to the old 8-bit and 16-bit ones. If you are a huge gaming fan, if you are a huge RPG gaming fan, you are a highly specialized, highly sensitive individual. And I know, if this word, sensitive, makes you cringe, I fully understand. I understand completely because still today, in most Western cultures, the word sensitive is far from complimentary. No, the word sensitive is often synonymous with words such as pussy, wimp, weenus, and bitch. So I understand completely why you would not want to be associated with this laundry list of terrible words. But if you like RPGs, if you love RPGs, you're a highly specialized, highly intelligent, and highly sensitive individual. And you should rejoice over this because being sensitive does not mean that you in fact spend every night crying yourself to sleep while watching The Notebook and eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream. It means, in fact, that your brain can see things and understand things and accomplish things the average Joe cannot. So take your pick right now. Are you a highly sensitive individual or a Joe Schmo simpleton? Me? I'm highly sensitive. I am a highly sensitive individual and proud to be sensitive. And let's face it, when you are sensitive growing up, there are not many avenues for you to explore your gifts. Baseball, football, organized sports, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. ha, ha ha, boring. All boring. And worse, we are all meant to feel ashamed for finding such things boring. We are meant to feel ashamed for being inadequate at these activities, for being bench warmers, so to speak. We are meant to feel ashamed our entire lives for being us. And if this were not bad enough, growing up, our senses are so highly refined, so highly tuned, that the price, the catch we pay for whatever gifts we may have, is that stuff affects us to a much higher degree. We often live in a world that is 2 times, sometimes 3 times scarier than the average Joe. We get emotional much easier. We get overwhelmed much easier. And in light of all this, do people help us? No, they do not. Nobody helps us. There we are, drowning in front of them, drowning for years and years in our youth. Family and loved ones, we are drowning in front of them in our own terror. And not only do they not help us, they insist that it's our fault. They insist that something inside us needs to be fixed. Good news, everyone. There's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing inside here that needs to be fixed. Good news, everyone. It is not 100% entirely in our heads. Bad news, everyone. No one is ever going to help us. No one will ever help us with this because they just don't understand. And that's not a detriment to them. They just don't understand. They don't get it. So what we need to do is we need to learn to individually help ourselves, to individually save ourselves. And thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. And I mean that in every sense of the word. Thank God for video games. Thank God for RPGs, because RPGs will always be the light in the darkness for our kinds of people. It'll always be our torch in those dark caves. RPGs will be our guide to get us to the other side, because RPGs are one of the only things for us where it is soothing, relaxing, enlightening, and entertaining all at the same time. RPGs do all of this for us, and on top of all that, RPGs actually teach us how to learn our gifts. I have a news flash for everybody watching this video right now. Whether you want to admit it to yourself or not, you do in fact have an infinite amount of abilities and gifts way beyond the world of video games. And shame on you if you waste them. Me? My gift is writing. Hi, I'm Justin M. Bailey, the writer. 10 years ago, I did not choose writing. It chose me, because for most of my life, I was just trying to be normal as best as I could. I failed miserably, by the way, because after 21 years of forcing myself to watch Yankee games and other crap, it finally just exploded out of me, and I've been writing since. I'm a writer, and I did not learn my craft. I did not learn who I am through some literary degree or by just reading a bunch of how-to write books. I learned it all. I learned my craft and who I am through RPGs. And not only that, it was through RPGs that I once learned to like myself again, at a time when I virtually saw no value in myself whatsoever as a human being. Middle school. Middle school is fantastic, isn't it? Oh yeah, middle school is great. We'll get into all the joy that is middle school some other time, but in the meantime, all you need to know is during that time, RPGs helped put me back together again. RPGs slowly made me proud of who I am rather than ashamed. They have done so much for me my entire life. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I would not be standing here doing this were it not for RPGs. But the biggest irony of everything I have just said to you is God's honest truth. Sometimes I must be quite the simpleton myself, because way back, I used to think RPGs were the stupidest shit imaginable. I thought they were the dumbest thing on God's green Nintendo Earth. Welcome to JMB on RPGs.